Eurovision polls. There's a lot of them, isn't there? So what's the point in doing another simple poll just to make you guys sort of go, you know, which particular one you like? So why don't we try and spice things up a little bit by doing a little sort of football knockout tournament with this particular poll. Why not? But you all want to find out on how on earth it's going to be implemented? I bet you do. Roll titles! Good afternoon everybody, my name is Jamie Jew and welcome back to a brand new video. And in this particular video we are building up to the Eurovision Song Contest big time by introducing another tiny little poll, which I think another content creator's already done in the form of Eurovision Histories. I would recommend go checking him out. He's doing a knockout tournament himself, but I'm also going to do a little bit of a knockout tournament myself for all of you guys to vote in, but implemented slightly differently. But yeah, you may remember the sort of so-called Eurovision knockouts that I did for last year's Eurovision Song Contest, albeit in a slightly different way, since at the end of the day, it was based on the finalists in the European Championships of Football last year. Well, that ain't happening this time around. So yes, welcome back to Eurovision Knockout 2025, everybody! And yes, this will feature all 37 participating countries in this year's Eurovision Song Contest, to a slight degree. I will of course explain all in good time as far as the Eurovision Knockout 2025 format is concerned. But before I do, I would of course encourage you guys as always to subscribe to my Eurovision YouTube channel, because have reacted to all 37 participating countries in this year's Eurovision Song Contest, as well as done countdowns every now and then, and I'll keep you up to date with news whenever I can, mainly on like my little community page and everything else like that. Also, forgive the hair, I've had it a bit cut, even though right now it looks a bit Jedward-y, although Vibe can probably take a note or two as far as that's concerned. So yeah, please do get subscribing, that would be fantastic, thank you very much. Otherwise, without any further ado, it's now time to dive into how on earth Eurovision Knockout 2025 will be implemented, as I explain all with this PowerPoint presentation. So yes, as far as Eurovision Knockout 2025 is concerned, let's have a look at the rules and regulations as we go along. First off, as I already mentioned, all 37 countries will be participating in this tournament, whereby it's a mixture of group stages as well as the knockout format, as per like normal sort of bog standard kind of rules and regulations when it comes to tournaments in question. So this is effectively like a little mini tournament where it's just a load of fun. It's like a little mini poll, and what's the fun in polls where you just sort of like have a basic league and everything else like that? It's kind of boring after a little while, isn't it? So why don't we just do a knockout tournament instead? I think that's very wise, don't you? Forgive my mouse here, thank you. The voting of course will be conducted on the Eurovision community page, so my Eurovision YouTube channel on the community page tab, so make sure you guys keep an eye out every 2 days on when the votes will be coming out, and of course you'll be starting off with the group stage to begin with, and the results will be based on the percentage of each country's votes as we go along. So it doesn't matter how many times you vote, obviously you can only vote once in the thing, so make sure your vote counts to each particular country you want to vote for. The groups, as I already mentioned, there's a group stage as well as a knockout format. Currently, as far as the format is concerned, only the winner from each group progresses to a 16 country knockout format. I should have mentioned that it was 16 countries that will be participating in the knockout format. So effectively the first is a round of 16, then quarters, etc. I'll show the grid later on. And then after that, because there's going to be 9 groups, only the 7 best second placers will then also progress to the knockout format, and this is conducted using the best percentage of votes from each of the second places. I would explain that a little bit further. So basically what I mean by that is the best percentages, or the best amount of percentage for each country that are in the second places. So this of course is second places for Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, etc. All of the countries that finish second place in their respective group will of course then get evaluated based on the percentage that they got in each one, and whichever two is the lowest, unfortunately, will be eliminated, along with, of course, the third places and the fourth places. Such as a tough life, of course. Now, I understand it's maybe not necessarily the fairest, but it's nevertheless the most simplest method to get things sorted as far as this knockout tournament is concerned. Besides, it's a bit of fun. And of course, if you guys want to, you know, feedback anything in regards to the rules and regulations, leave of course the comments down in the, well, comments below, of course. And of course, the knockout format is determined using a similar procedure as per like FIFA football draw rules, which I will also explain in a moment. And basically the first in place, second into each separate group, etc. But as I say, I will explain further. Although that being said, since we've got 9 groups, there is that little dilemma. Speaking of which, we've got another major dilemma to deal with, because as I already mentioned, there are 37 countries participating, and unfortunately only 36 spots in the knockout tour, well, in the round when the group stages, can go into this particular tournament. Now the reason why I say this is because unfortunately, due to the YouTube community page, only a maximum of 4 options is allowed now. It used to be 5 like about a year ago, but now it's like a maximum of 4. I have no idea why they've reduced it, but when in terms of like the polls that you can create, there's only a maximum of 4. So unfortunately, one particular country is not going to feature in the main knockout. So what's going to happen now is there's going to be a pre-qualifier group, which you guys will be voting in. 4 countries will be participating in this, and whichever country has got the lowest total points from the got those total points from this particular group, unfortunately, will be eliminated. The 4 countries featured. Now I've calculated this as the countries with the lowest total points from the grand final appearances for this decade only. So in other words, the 2020s, i.e. 2020 up until now. Obviously can't include 2020 itself since it was cancelled. So in other words, 2021 till now. The 4 countries that got the least amount of points from the grand final appearances are San Marino with 64 points, Georgia with 34 points, and 2 countries which unfortunately have failed to qualify from the grand final. They were Denmark, which of course 4 years in a row haven't qualified at all, and Montenegro. Now I know Montenegro is a little bit contentious since they've only appeared once apart from this year in this decade, but because of the fact they are participating this year, I thought it's only like fair and right to make sure they get participated. That's, you know, for you to decide as to whether you think that's fair or not, but nevertheless, it's those particular 4 countries that will be in the pre-qualifier group: San Marino, Georgia, Denmark, and Montenegro. So that is the pre-qualified group at the bottom there, featuring those particular countries and the Sons, which of course San Marino is Tutta l'Italia, Georgia is Freedom, Denmark Hallucination, and Montenegro Dobrodošli. And now the pre-qualifier is going to be starting as soon as this video goes out. So you will then be voting over the next 2 days of which is your particular favourite. Whichever country gets the least amount of votes will be saying bye-bye to you, basically. So yeah, this is already mentioned over there. One forgets on how I've implemented those things. But yes, voting this pre-qualifier for the next 2 days. Country with the lowest percentage is bye-bye, or adios tos amigos, which is not ideal. Only then, after this time, will then I do a proper draw for the group stages, which I will of course explain in a separate video. But in the meantime, let's begin the pre-qualifier for the Eurovision Knockout 2024, because I am dead excited. So yes, get voting right now. The voting will close effectively 8 PM my time, or British Standard Time now, or British Summer Time for that matter, 8 PM British Summer Time on the 3rd of April. That's when the vote closes, and I will do another video following up from that. So yes, get voting right now to see which is your particular favourite: San Marino, Georgia, Denmark, or Montenegro. And without any further ado, I will be ending the video there. No further explanations until we get into the group stages. I am dead excited. Hope you're dead excited. Otherwise, without any further ado, subscribe to my Eurovision YouTube channel, smash the like button on this video for good measure, and of course, ring the bell again notified about my latest videos, and catch you again in the next one. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.